What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince and I'm an urban acolyte. In this video, I want to discuss a rumor about Kylo Ren in Star Wars Episode 9 that was reported recently by Jason Ward over at makingstarwars.net. Now, even though I consider this to be a rumor, this could be a huge spoiler for the Rise of Skywalker. So if you want to go into the movie completely spoiler free, hey, you may not want to watch this video. But if you're still here and you're new, hey, I talk about Star Wars, but this isn't your typical Star Wars channel. I talk about the news and rumors, but also get deep into the themes in Star Wars, especially when it comes to the Force. And if that sounds like something that you can get behind, hey, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you enable notifications so you'll know when I post new videos. But okay, so let's get to this rumor that Jason reported on his website. Now, the rumor goes that Kylo Ren is going to become a Sith Lord. Now, how that happens? Well, this all goes back to Palpatine's alleged return. This actually gets really deep because it will allegedly involve three things that have been heavily discussed since The Last Jedi. Those things are Snoke's other apprentice, Matt Smith's character, and Kylo Ren's possible redemption, which is being referred to as a Ben-demption. Okay, so the rumor goes that there actually is another threat out there in the form of Matt Smith's character. Now, it's unclear if this character is Snoke's previous apprentice who may have been cast off or cast to the side in favor of Ben Solo, or if this character is just another dark side adept, meaning someone else who studied the dark side of the Force. Now, I think it would be cool to have a Sith cultist who actually is Force sensitive somewhere out there, like a dude who's been studying the dark side of the Force and is completely obsessed with Emperor Palpatine. Now, I know there is probably a vocal majority of people who watch all these YouTube videos who would rather see Snoke's apprentice as this person, but if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense for Snoke's apprentice to be obsessed with resurrecting Emperor Palpatine or Darth Sidious unless they're being misled by Palpatine, which just came to me, like literally that just now came to me. So Palpatine has possessed some item or an artifact much in the way that Lord Momin seems to have possessed his mask. Now, honestly, if you go back to the video that I posted about Darth Mormon or Lord Momin, and you think about his death, it actually parallels how Palpatine died. Momin was about to commit genocide on a mass scale with a Death Star type of weapon, and Palpatine was going to wipe out the entire Rebel fleet with the second Death Star. They were both stopped by Jedi, and it's like their hatred prevented them from crossing over to the other side of becoming one with the Force. Now, like, think of how it was Maul's hatred that kept him alive. Even with half of his body, well, Momin and Palpatine basically had no physical body at the time of their ultimate defeat, but their consciousness continued by inhabiting a physical object. It all falls in line with the Sith and their belief in physical, or their pursuit of physical immortality, which is why the Sith can't become Force ghosts. They have to be connected to something in the physical world. So anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. I want to explain this stuff to people who are attached to stuff from the EU, which was never part of George Lucas's vision of how the Force works. But anyway, let's get back to the rumor. So basically, whoever Matt Smith character is, he's some kind of dark side adept, whether he's Snoke's previous apprentice, a member of the Acolytes of the Beyond, or just some random dude with the Force who is obsessed with Palpatine's resurrection. Now, recall that I said in another video about Yup Tashu, who he believed that Palpatine was going to be resurrected, and I said that I didn't think Yup Tashu would be successful because he probably needed the Force to perform that ritual to bring back Palpatine. But if Matt Smith's character has the Force, well, there you have it. Now, here's a question. Palpatine's observatory on Jakku had ties to a character referred to as the consecrated eremite. There may have been some kind of well of power on Jakku. Could the desert planet that we've seen in the trailer actually be a return to Jakku? Like, whatever is going on with Palpatine's resurrection requires that that ritual be performed on Jakku. Just like the ritual to bring back Momin required that it be done on Mustafar in the Sith shrine where Vader bled his kyber crystal. It's just something to think about. But anyway, this ritual to bring back Palpatine, Palpatine comes back, just like Momin came back. He's got this Force user's body, meaning Palpatine can use the Force. See, when Momin took over bodies that wore his mask, he drained their life force. But because they didn't have the Force, he couldn't use the Force. It wasn't any kind of essence transfer. He just full on possessed their bodies. It's like he erased their consciousness and he overrode it with his own. But he was only able to do what their bodies were capable of doing. Now, in this case, it sounds like Palpatine is doing the same thing when he possesses Matt Smith's character's body. So with Palpatine back, it's like Rey and Kylo Ren have to team up to defeat Palpatine's physical manifestation, his new body. Now, why is this? Maybe it's not necessarily from a place of serving the light. At this point, Kylo Ren is the supreme leader. He's the emperor of the galaxy. Palpatine poses a threat to his rule. It's like, so you call yourself the new Vader. I knew Vader. I made Vader. You're no Vader. Think back to The Force Awakens when Rey says, "You'll never be as powerful as Darth Vader." It really struck a nerve with Ben that he will never be Anakin. So for Kylo Ren, this could initially be, hey, yo, I need to take this guy out or else he's going to bring down everything that I've worked so hard to create. Everything that I'm trying to do, this is my birthright. I was meant to rule. I'm finishing what my grandfather started. Now here's Palpatine back to destroy all of that. So Kylo Ren is forced to team up with Rey, Finn, and Poe, and Chewie so they can take down Palpatine so he can preserve his rule. Now here's where things get crazy. So the rumor goes that Kylo Ren and Rey actually managed to defeat Palpatine as Matt Smith. Maybe they used that Force flash fighting thing that they're rumored to use throughout the movie in their own personal duels, but the messed up thing, or where things get really interesting, is right here. Because after they defeat Palpatine in Matt Smith's body, Palpatine, Darth Sidious, possesses Kylo Ren, possesses Ben Solo. So it seems that Palpatine needs someone who is in tune with the dark side of the Force. And I know there are people who really want to see Rey be possessed by Palpatine. And all I'm going to say is if you're one of those people, look, man, don't read any of the books about the movies, these new movies. I'm telling you, don't do it because ignorance is bliss. And I think that Rey is pretty incorruptible. I don't just think that the books say so. The lore says so. So I don't ever see her turn into the dark side. And if you don't like that I said don't read the Last Jedi novel, look, don't read it because it explains some things about Rey and her connections to the light side of the Force that I guess you're not going to be wanting to accept if you're one of those I want to see Rey turn to the dark side. It's not going to happen, player. But anyway, Kylo Ren is possessed by Palpatine and he's trying to fight it. He fights it, having his consciousness overwritten by Palpatine, and he begs Rey to kill him. So Rey and Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, have their final duel because Palpatine has possessed Kylo Ren, and this is what we see. This is when we see the return of Ben Solo. This is the Ben-demption that people have wanted to see. Ben basically falls on his sword. He kills himself in order to defeat Palpatine and save Rey. So I'm not sure how this plays out. Like, I really don't know how I feel about this if it turns out to be true. I really like the Kylo Ren character, but I guess showing how dark he can become, it may not be the best story for Star Wars as it moves forward, even though that's what I would like to see. And if you let him go out like Anakin, it could give a satisfying end to the Skywalker saga. You finally defeated the Sith and the dark side for this generation. Picture this. After you have this epic battle between Kylo Ren, who's possessed by Palpatine, and Rey, the ultimate evil defeated, and Ben loses his life in the process. Through his conflict, he finds clarity and he returns to the light. Rey cremates the body and the mask of Kylo Ren. You have Luke's voice say, "We passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now, but this is your fight." He means the fight moving forward, the future problems that will arise, because the First Order, they're still out there. The Knights of Ren, they might still be out there too, even though Kylo Ren is no more. And after Luke tells Rey that it's her fight, then we see Force Ghosts. We see Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke, Anakin, and Ben Solo as a Force Ghost. He's returned to the light. And they're all there to give their knowledge, to pass their knowledge on to Rey, to give her the goal of rebuilding the Jedi Order and restoring balance to the Force in the galaxy with the return of the Jedi. And she has the goal of carrying on the legacy of other great Jedi before her. And she becomes the new legend for the new generation of Star Wars fans that are coming after the Skywalker saga has wrapped up, has given us this thing, this gift, and given us a platform to tell future stories. Now, I'm not saying that I would cry if I saw that, but I think I would try hard to keep a straight face. That's just me. But hey, y'all, I didn't mean to get so serious with all of this. Like I said, this is all a rumor. We don't know if any of this is actually going to be happening. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. Like, what do you think about all of this? Palpatine's resurrection, his possession, and the redemption of Kylo Ren, the Ben-demption. So hey, if you like this video, hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you have something to share with Urban Acolyte community, post it down below in the comments, and I'll be checking back to see what you have to say. And hey, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an Urban Acolyte. Embark on the journey to become the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. If you like this video and you want to see more, be sure to check out these videos on the top theories for Star Wars Episode 9. You can also check out this other video that YouTube has picked just for you. But that's all I got for this video, so thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you, always.